Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get straight into today's story. Australia is reeling after another shocking act of violence, the Bondi Beach shooting during Hanukkah, which left multiple casualties. New reports indicate the gunman may have supported ISIS, raising urgent questions about how extremist ideologies are spreading and how authorities are handling security. The Bondi attack has left Australians shaken. Two gunmen opened fire in broad daylight, targeting a location known for public gatherings and celebrations. Now, intelligence suggests that at least one of the attackers had links to extremist Islamist groups with support for ISIS ideology. This connection is not minor. It highlights the danger of radicalisation even in countries considered relatively safe. Let's be clear, ISIS is not a distant threat anymore. It's here, in the minds of radicalised individuals who can act at any moment. Governments, including Australia's, have poured billions into counter-terrorism, yet attacks like Bondi Beach continue to happen. It raises serious questions. Are law enforcement and intelligence agencies keeping up the pace of radicalisation? Are policies on immigration and counter-extremism truly effective? Probably not. The timing is also crucial. The attack occurred during Hanukkah, a holiday widely celebrated by Jewish communities. This raises a concern that anti-Semitism and Islamist extremism are converging in violent ways. Authorities in Australia are reportedly reviewing security measures for religious events, but one is to ask, should we wait for attacks to happen before taking any action? It's also worth noting that a pro-Palestinian activist disrupted a vigil for the victims, further complicating the social context. While peaceful protest is a democratic right, targeting memorials and amplifying political messaging at times of tragedy is irresponsible and inflammatory. It shows how geopolitical conflicts abroad are being brought directly into local communities, sometimes with dangerous consequences. I'll make another video on this at a later date. From a broader perspective, attacks like Bondi Beach are a stark reminder that radical ideologies exploit gaps in society. Gaps in integration, gaps in security, and gaps in political will. Australia has done well in some areas, but no country is immune. When people are radicalised online or in small networks, even a single individual can carry out deadly attacks. And in this case, the presence of extremist sympathies makes it clear this is more than a random attack of violence, it's a ideologically driven terrorism. Also, let's not ignore the role of the media in public discourse. Coverage often emphasises mass shootings without clearly linking them to radical ideologies. By not highlighting the ISIS connection immediately, public awareness of the nature of these attacks is muted. People need to know the full context, not just the tragedy itself, if societies are going to develop solutions. This brings us to policy and prevention. Australia, like many Western nations, faces tough questions. How do we identify radicalisation early? How do we balance civil liberties with national security? And critically, how do we prevent international extremist ideologies from taking root in local communities? Answers are not simple, but ignoring the problem isn't really an option. At the same time, communities need to be resilient. Vigils and public gatherings are important, but so is awareness and vigilance. Local leaders, faith groups and citizens must work together to report suspicious activities and support measures that protect vulnerable groups from being targeted. One cannot help but compare this to a broader European and Western struggle with Islamist terrorism. Every major attack reinforces the reality that extremism travels fast. And social media accelerates the radicalisation process. Bondi Beach may be thousands of miles from conflict zones, but the ideology that fueled the attack didn't stay contained. This is a global problem that requires global vigilance, but local action is just as critical. Ultimately, the Bondi Beach shooting is a wake-up call. Authorities must act decisively to investigate extremist links, tighten security for public and religious gatherings, and to prevent radicalised individuals from reaching a point of violence. Communities need to stay informed and citizens need to demand accountability from leaders tasked with keeping people safe. We can't afford complacency. ISIS may have been territorially defeated in the Middle East, but the ideology lives on. Bondi Beach is a stark reminder that extremist sympathisers can strike anywhere and governments must constantly adapt to new threats. Ordinary citizens, meanwhile, should probably stay alert and participate in keeping their community safe. Again, I'd like to wish my sympathies to all those involved. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want more honest political commentary and don't want to miss what's really happening behind the headlines, hit subscribe now and drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think.